Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Hero and Mong here on Circuit Breakers. Cast a game between these two same players back on June 16th of this year. Wait, am I posting this after the new year? Anyway, June 16th, 2019. But this is not the same game, I checked. Alright, so bottom left hand corner is the white Terran player. It is Mong. And in the top right-hand corner, it is the teal Zerg player, Hero, with Ace of Spades here as an observer in this game. So it was played at a time after observers had to lift off command centers and hide from the players while they were observing. So that puts it in a specific time post whenever that happened. I want to say maybe 2004, 2005, thereabouts. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but if you know, let me know in the comments. All right, so a TVZ here on Circuit Breakers. I kind of feel like this is a Terran favored map because the third base can be hit by siege tanks. And to get to them, you have to go around a wall and through a narrow choke if you're at that base. Let me show you what I'm talking about here real quick. La 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 la. Bonk. Actually, is that a different map? That's a different map. Okay, but still, we have problems with tanks setting up on this high ground and basically threatening this base here. We have tanks that set up on this high ground and threaten this base. There's a lot of places that tanks can be in a TVZ and really ruin a Zerg's day. So we'll see if that happens, right? If you're the Zerg player, generally don't want to let the Terran player get to the point where they have 20 tanks all that easily. And he is going for a pool first. So what are we looking at here? One Overlord and another drone. So that has a pool first play, probably about a 9 pool based on the timing here. So pretty early stuff here, and the SCV scout does not exist. Mong is just going to go for Barracks first play, which is very safe. Thank goodness he's not going CC first, because that would ruin his day, without question. And before this pool finishes and stuff happens, as the hatch goes down at about 12 supply there, so probably a 12 pull, 12 hatch would be the timing. Just want to say how much I loved The Witcher Season 1 on Netflix. If you have Netflix in your country, it's been available to you for a while now. It's good. There are people who hate it. I understand that. It is a little bit disjointed. There are multiple timelines involved, which gets confusing. Geralt, as a main character, Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher in name here, is a very gruff, very unfriendly character. We don't really see him vulnerable or just as a nice guy all that often. Which is a problem, in my opinion, because I have about 165 hours played in The Witcher 3, and I know Geralt as someone who's very capable of that. He's a really nice, caring dude. He doesn't show it a lot, but when he does, you can tell that he actually has feelings, and they just didn't do that very well in the show. But check it out. I think it's worth watching. It's only 8 hours, 8 episodes in Season 1 here. It's been renewed for a Season 2. So catch it now before Season 2 comes out. I think Season 2 is going to be a lot better than Season 1, just because certain things change in relation to Geralt there that are going to help. So SCV body block here, 2 Marines top of the ramp. Mong knows exactly what to do, and he's going to be just fine. In fact, the Lings are just going to go home. They have been absolutely thwarted here. Mong was able to catch a glimpse of the Lings coming across the map, pulled the SCVs, got the Marines up, and called it good. Started building his command center inside his main base, which is totally safe here. Macro hatch coming up at the top of the ramp from Hero, which I like to do. I got to incorporate more macro hatches earlier in my games. I just get confused between StarCraft 2 and StarCraft 1 when I play. In that StarCraft 2, you don't need a macro hatch until later, honestly, until you have like 3 or 4 bases, but it's really useful to have a macro hatch when you're on 2 in Brood War, so I gotta start doing that. Alright, so Marines pushing on out. I guess they're trying to find Zerglings that are skulking around here, but they're not going to find any because the Lings really ran all the way home to kill that SCV. Metabolic boost now getting started, so these are going to be slow Lings for quite some time. Yeah, really wants to make sure these Lings are not around here to cause some problems. The question is, at what point are we going to see a mech transition? This could be a game wherein Mong just stays bio the entire time. This could be a game where he goes into mech very quickly. This could be a game where he goes bio and then transitions into mech about halfway through. Either way, late game mech is very hard for Zerg to handle. The trick is getting there, though. You can't just rush to mech, because then like a ton of mules show up and you die. You need these Marines, you need turrets, you need several bases to support the mech anyway. The amount of gas you'll need for those tanks is not cheap. So as a result, you just don't see players rushing to mech all that much. Although, I guess it is possible if the Zerg player is passive enough and allows it to happen. Oh, this is not being passive. This is Hero bringing 1 billion Zerglings across the map here. Look at this, though. Look at this bunker getting placed in this position. The Marines will be in there. Other ones can hide behind the bunker, creating a narrow choke. It covers this mineral line fairly well, too. Handful of Lings comes in. The bunker finishes in the nick of time here. This is huge for Mong. This is a killing blow intent from Hero here. But it's not going to happen. He can't break. He knows he can't break this, or he would have rushed it now. Is he going? He's going for it! Ah, trying to get a full surround on the bunker. Actually, not really trying to get a full surround on the bunker. Trying to kill the Marines on the ramp first, and then trying to take down the bunker. The repair on the SCVs is real, though. Oh, that was interesting. I don't necessarily agree with that out of Hero. I think he could have killed the bunker and been in a much better position, but he went after some of the SCVs instead. Definitely went after the Marines on this ramp for some reason. And now there's a fire bat out, and now the Lings are just in a world of hurt. So, from my amateur perspective, I would say that Hero did not play that well, but maybe there wasn't a way to play it. Maybe he made all the Zerglings. Mong prepared perfectly, and Hero just had to go for it and make the best of the situation that he could, and there was no way to win that based on what Hero or Mong had set up. Entirely possible. Anyway, Spire's about halfway done. Back home for Hero. He's going to go for them Mutalisks. Engineering Bay already done. You don't have to start building the turrets until the Mutas are in egg form. And maybe third base timing it here for Hero. I think scanner sweeps are checking to make sure if there's a third base yet, and there's not. Just because really can't get a third base and defend it very well if you're going for Mutalisks this fast. You got to get Sunkens to defend. You can't defend both your natural and your third base in the time it takes for Marines to get across the map, especially if they have fire bat support. And all you got is Lings to defend. Nope, it's going to be bad. There's your first factory of the day now from Mong at about the 6-minute 40-second mark. Lings dancing about, trying to see what they can see. And the answer is no third base, no quick third for Mong here, but a lot of bio. They don't have any attack upgrades yet, but they're working on +1. They're working on a Marine attack range. And I have to imagine they have Stim. That's usually the first thing that players get when they get the Academy, is getting the Stim upgrade. So I haven't seen them Stim yet, I don't think, but we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, turrets in production because Mutalisks are in production, and Mong's timings here are elite as to be expected. Mong is a very, very good Terran player. Hero, one of the best Zerg players on the planet right now, and pretty much when he was up and coming. So Hydralisk Den and a Queen's Nest on the way. The Muta Harass is going to lead into some Hive stuff, which you got to do. You got to go for that Defiler Mound if you're going to beat a Terran player past, you know, the 7-minute mark as we're seeing here. Just usually doesn't happen. So there's your Stim. Stim exists. Mutas are trying to go north into the natural base. A bit of a wrong guess there. Marines preparing for the Lings to come into the main, but 3 missile turrets with bunker support is going to be hard to break, man. There's the stack, and there's the Dark Shadow. Here we go! No, definitely not. I mean, Hero's going to shark around here for a while and try to see what damage he can get done, but no, definitely not going to happen. Lurker aspect on the way. These Mutas are just taking free shots. They're not accomplishing anything. They're basically baiting some Stims out of this bio, so the medics are losing earn energy faster than they would want to, but I mean, it's not enough to drag them down to 0 mana. So, this is problematic for Hero. Hero is in a bad way right now. The only good news is he's got his Hive in production down here at the natural. He's going for Lurker aspect. Lurker aspect pretty good against bio groups. There aren't that many tanks yet. First Science Vessel in production. There aren't a ton of Science Vessels to throw that in me and irradiate out on your Lurker. Getting some damage done now seems pretty good, but still, utter lack of a third. Just kidding. There's one in the top left here. Wow. All right, so we're taking the third way up here, which, fair enough, I guess. Again, you can defend this with a couple Lurkers on top of that ramp, maybe 3, because it's a wider ramp. Yep, 1, 2, 3. And then once you can hold this base, it's basically free too. So far, so good out of Mong, defending really well, macroing exceptionally well. He's got a 45 SCV to 38 drone advantage. Just because, I mean, the problem with droning up as a Zerg player is your workers become buildings. You basically lose workers to do these buildings, tech structures, extractors, hatcheries, static defense, Nidus canals, cost drones. That's why you're slowed down. And that's why we're pretty much even at this stage of the game. Mutalisks getting some nice pickoffs there, killing a Marine, so maybe not as good as I thought. Not sure that was worth the damage. Irradiate just about done. An absolutely essential upgrade here for all your Terran needs versus Zerg. Zerg. It's a good cinematic from the Brood War campaign. I think it's StarCraft 1 campaign, actually. Oh no, it's the end of the Brood War campaign. The very name used to send fear into the hearts of all those in the Koperlu sector. Yeah. It's the end of the Terran campaign in Brood War. Good stuff. Mutalisks irradiated and shot. Split it. Split it. Scourge going down. Oh, Scourge getting killed by the irradiate is a problem. And tanks just firing on ye old lurkers. They have to get out of there. Sunken Colony defending. Nidus Canal finishes. Do we have Defilers? They're in production. They are in production. Ah, tanks taking shots. The Defilers are working on it. They're getting consumed, but it's not done yet. This is a really good push out of Mong right now. If he can kill this third, he's going to be in the perfect position to win this match. Mong, like I said, serious business player. Hero very good too. But I really feel like that early Ling attack hurt Hero's chances of winning this match. He spent so much larva and so many resources on those. Zerglings coming into their death. They don't really accomplish much there other than drawing some of the fire away from these lurkers. Defiler, there's the Dark Swarm. There's the Dark Swarm. Bunch of bio does end up dead there. Nicely done, nicely done. Dodging the Dark Swarm. Defiler, more consumed, more Dark Swarm. Lings getting in on top of these guys. Is there a fire bat in the mix? I don't think there is. Another beautiful Dark Swarm. Hero! Hero is giving me nerd chills here. Oh, that was so well done. Guess who's attacking the front door, though, of the Zerg player? It's Hero. Or Mong, rather. He's not in one place only. He is in two places at once. Guess who can be in two places at once? Units that have access to a Nidus Canal. Wait, there's still Marines here? How did that happen? So the tanks are dead. Everybody dead there. Another Dark Swarm here would be nice. So far, pretty well defended, I gotta say. 32 drones and 52 SCVs is bad, though, as Mong is landing a third base. Firebats and Vultures coming in to try to deal with this army. Lings running to their deaths a little bit, then they change their minds about that. This Zergling getting some free SCV hits. Not too bad. Hero not defending this all that well. There you go. There is the Dark Swarm. Lurker attacks. Ling attacks on top of everything here. Dark Swarm just changes everything. Science Vessel goes down. And that was a beautiful play. Beautifully, beautifully played there. Ooh, Spider Mine does take down a bunch of Zerglings there, though. Nicely done by our Vulture pilot buddy here, wearing his white suit to complement his white Vulture he's riding today. All right, so Mong is basically trying to deny this fourth base that Hero would really like to have, if he is allowed to have them. I don't think he is. Don't think he's allowed to have it quite yet, but a Dark Swarm down here, pretty good. The problem is Spider-Man splash damage ignores Dark Swarm. So if you start running Lings into a Dark Swarm down here, they just... Ooh, hang on. Oh, okay. Then they all die to the Spider-Mine. But the Spider-Mines can also be dragged into enemy Terran units and blown up on them too. Friendly fire for Spider-Mines does exist. You gotta be careful with it. I mean, they do a ridiculous amount of damage. 125 is disgusting for those guys, but he's gonna Dark Swarm this thing anyway. Oh, that was like the smallest plague of all time. So those guys get plagued, which means Zerglings will do much better against them. The Vultures are still a problem. The Spider-Mines are still a problem. Mutalisks checking to see their expansions down this way. I don't know. Building another base at the 6 o'clock is Mong, though. He's going for a fourth pretty fast here at 13 minutes. He feels extremely brave at this time. $135 to 89 supply at about the 13-minute mark. This is where the Zerg player needs to start turning around in total supply. As of now, they're even. But the Zerg player needs to start taking leads here. It needs to have additional bases for that to happen. So Lurker does show up and kill every one of the units in that bio group that got plagued, which, I don't know, not that much of a huge accomplishment, but still not bad. Is this another base happening? Wow. Mong is killing it here. He has to recognize the importance of holding that early Zergling attack, and he's just using it to absolutely leapfrog ahead of the Zerg player by leaps and bounds. Trying to drag Spider Mines in kind of works. I think one hit sort of tangentially hits some of the Terran units there, but nothing too massive, unfortunately for Hero. So he's a 3-basing Zerg versus almost a 5-basing Terran right now. Mong is outclassing the Zerg player like you would not believe. And I'm seeing your comments, you guys, on the channel. I read every comment anybody ever makes on the channel, no matter what video it's on. And I see your comments about wanting to see Zerg wins on the channel in Brood War. And I gotta tell ya, this is not looking good. This is not looking like one of those Zerg wins you've been asking me for. And it's not over yet, right? It's not over yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not put the cart before the horse. But, I mean, 4th base is on the way, which is really nice for Hero. He loses the Defiler because of Dark Swarm, or rather because of Radiate. Maybe Tank Fire? No, he's not putting it over that way. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. 147 and 122 at the 15-minute mark. This is bad. We're officially in bad territory here for Hero. His Dark Swarm use is godlike, though, and if there's one spell in the game that can swing a game, well, it's Psionic Storm. But the second spell in the game that swings games is the Dark Swarm. Storm and Swarm, they rhyme. Coincidence? I think not. Scourge getting some hits off. Nicely done, nicely done, nicely done. It's the sound of irradiated lurkers dying in the morning. Mutalisk Flock, again, not huge. Most of them are dead. But getting rid of the Spider Mines and getting rid of these Vultures is a minor victory. It's just Mong is so happily set up on so many bases right now, and there's really no hope of Hero breaking him. He's making 8 Hydras at a time. It's definitely mech at this stage. When's the last time you saw a Marine on the field? About 4 minutes ago, Falcon. Yeah, that's right. About 4 minutes ago. I don't know why I made you kind of sound like a Muppet. Sorry about that. I don't know. Maybe you sound like Kermit the Frog. There's no shame in sounding like Kermit the Frog. He is an American hero. So, the tanks show up. The Vultures get behind this mineral line, and this is looking super mega bad for Hero. Defilers can't really do much here. He's trying to get Lurkers in the mix. But the drone count is down to 48. It's 170 to 126 supply. Bit of an engagement of Hydra down to the 6 o'clock position, trying to deal with the remainder of the bio. Hey, look, there was some bio here. And they're going to do all right until 3 tanks show up, and then the Hydras are all immediately negated. Especially with Goliath support. So, nice defensive matrix up, though. That's pretty good stuff. But yeah, all the Hydras are done. Like, breaking this is really, really hard. Trying to do Hydras, but they do stack up, and that splash damage is not negated by the Dark Swarm. Only direct damage is. So additional Lurkers trying to come up here. Nice consume out of Hero, but the attempt on the 6 o'clock base of Mong's was not met with success. The factory count is getting higher for Mong all the time. This frontal contains still here. That Dark Swarm placement is all right. You're going to take shots getting in. More bio just dying, and the age of bio is effectively over at this point. So maybe he's trying to get a backside attack here with some Lurkers too. Maybe no. Simply no. That's what happened there. That was a whole lot of no. Okay, well, Mong's trying to set up in the bottom right to get more ahead, as Day 9 used to say when he talked about StarCraft. If you're ahead, get more ahead, he used to say. And that's what we're seeing here today, is Mong ahead after that first Ling engagement, continuing to get more ahead. So, in our experience in the channel, the only way we've seen a Zerg player beat a fully meching Terran past the 20-minute mark has been drops. It's been drops and or judicious use of spawn broodling from Queens. You can't attack them over the ground. Dark Swarm is of no use there. Plague is of no use there. Once it gets to the point there's a huge tank line and they have upgrades, it doesn't matter what you send against them. The Ultras will all die before they get there. The Lings will all die before they get there. Dark Swarm doesn't help, just because the splash damage of this many tanks adds up to a whole ton. So it has to be drops. You have to research drops. And then just drop Lings and Ultras on top of these tanks, so that they're not getting whittled down as they try to walk up to the tank line. Hydras, I just really haven't ever seen work at all against meching Terran, and he's doing a good job keeping them away from the tanks as they siege. That's good micro, and that's really good positioning and decision-making here from Hero. And the longer he can survive here, the more he's going to be able to max out against Mong too. The problem is the bank size is going to be an issue for the Zerg player, just because there are so many bases for Mong here. So many bases. At the 20-minute mark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7. Like, Hero needs to take this base, which he's doing, and he needs to take this base. That's what I'm talking about. See your Dark Swarm? It's not enough. The tank count is what it was. This little attack was fun and nice and everything, but it's not working. Anyway, Hero needs this space and he needs this space, but guess who's holding it? It's Mong. He knows that if he's a base up on the Zerg player, 2 bases up on the Zerg player possibly, there's just no way. There's no way you can beat a meching Terran player if you don't have the income to throw away on units against these more cost-efficient Terran machines. Upgrade on the Zergling is +2 Carapace and no attack upgrades. +2 attack and +1 Carapace for the tanks and the vultures. The Hydras have any upgrades? You got +1 missile. That's nice. But the upgrades aren't super good here for Hero either. He's working on additional ones, missile attack and Carapace. No melee attack upgrades, which tells me we're not seeing Ultralisks in this game. They're just not in the plan. It's going to be Hydras and Lings and Dark Swarm and Plague, and that's all we're going to get. Maybe drops. Maybe Dropper Lords. But this is just, I mean, this is Flash-like domination in a TVZ. This is Flash setting up and never leaving. This is Flash expanding 100 times behind this. Setting up huge lines of spider mines. It takes forever to Zerg get through on the ground, which is where the drops come in. You can just bypass these spider mines with drops. Who did it? Larva did it? I think we saw Larva do it. I think it was Hero in one of these games that we saw do it. But yeah, maxed out Terran. He's working on a bank. This is looking really, really grim for Hero. And it's patience, right? Your army's not necessarily fast enough to really move across the map and kill the Zerg player fast. But if you're patient enough, you can just take the whole map and then just slowly squeeze the Zerg player out. There's no need to rush. There's no need to get over there before the Zerg player attacks to anything. You let them have all the tier 3 stuff they want. Unless they get really good drops off and some good queen play. And or some good queen play. This is impossible to stop. This is one of those strategies that if you don't prepare for it perfectly, you're just dead. Yeah, the irradiate is key here. Like, don't think as a Terran player all you have to do is make tanks and vultures and just do this and you're gonna win. No, you need to be irradiating defilers and irradiating lurkers constantly or you're gonna lose. So that's the other key to this thing, is the science vessel count, the science vessel keeping them aliveness by having some Goliaths to pick off Scourge as they get closer, pick off Overlords as they get closer. This is, again, just a squeezing. I have this mental image of Mong just with his fingers around Hero's neck, squeezing. So one Science Vessel dies. Bunch of Scourge, though. That's probably a fair trade. Scourge are pretty gas-intensive in those numbers. And again, ground attacks, even protected by Dark Swarm, just don't work. That's one tank dead. That's maybe another tank dead. This isn't even Dark Swarm supported here. This is just Lings jumping on top of tanks and Goliaths and trying to make something happen here. And, you know, not doing too bad for themselves. The armor is helping. But one good splash will wipe them all out of existence because these are doing 85 damage per shot. Okay, some judicious broodling attacks here. All right. You still need the drops. Oh, he's going ultras. No! You don't have the drop. You don't have the upgrades for the ultras, my guy. Oh, does he have any attack upgrades for melee at all? No. He's making +1, which is nice. This is a pretty good little wraparound attack here. Dark Swarm. Oh, that splash, though. Splash is good. Still desperately trying to break the chokehold that exists on the right side of the map. He can't do it, because even inside Dark Swarm, the splash is too much. It is too much. Mong set up shop over here at the top left-hand corner for Hero 15 minutes ago, and he has not been broken. It's allowed him to expand a billion times. He hasn't even taken this 3 o'clock position. He just makes sure that effort doesn't get it. I keep watching the production tab and hoping that we get some Dropper Lord action. I mean, Hero's taking this minerals only base, which is nice, but the gas bank for Mong is 1,700 gas. There's a lot of tanks and a lot of science vessels. That adds up quite a bit. But just look at the mini-map. It is all white. It is just Mong here. Scourge, trying to find science vessels to kill, sacrificing themselves for no reason whatsoever. Again, just coming in on the ground, I don't know how many more times I can say this. It doesn't work. Siege tank, good unit. And slowly unsieging. Slowly sieging forward. Gonna go take out that 12 o'clocker because that one is the newest base, and killing newer bases is better than killing older bases if you have to choose. Because older bases mine out anyway. Defensive matrix is up. Lings, Hydras attacking on in. There's actually no Dark Swarm here defending at all. But the tanks are directly shelling the 12 o'clock, and you still didn't break this front door at the top left. It's not happening. I've seen enough of this to know. Hey, look, Queen Curse. So he saves the 12 o'clock with Queens, which is nice. But there are so many tanks, and the Queens are all just dead weight, supply-wise, until they generate enough energy for a Broodling, a Spawn Broodling spell. So sure, he killed a couple tanks. He's making 7 at a time. You can't kill 7 tanks at a time in the time it takes to make another 7 tanks. Energy regenerates really slowly. That's another Defiler that's died somewhere. I don't know where. I mean, if Hero wins this game, I'll eat my hat at this point. He's just been behind the entire time. That giant Ling attack was ill-advised, accomplished almost nothing, and it's led directly to this. StarCraft is an unforgiving mistress. You make one poor decision at the beginning, and this happens to you. I mean, this is one of the most dominating performances I've seen outside of Flash in a TVZ on the channel. I mean, I'm sorry, Zerg fans. I don't know what to tell you other than Hero should have gone for drops. Could irradiate, though. That's a really fantastic irradiate. Anything that comes in on the ground is just obliterated. It's obliterated. Look, Mong's taking that 3 o'clock now. This group, tragically, running to their deaths. Dark Swarm, one Dark Swarm gets up, which is nice. A Plague comes down, also nice. But everything's dead. We're in range, and that's your good game. Hero taps out. Mong, just flawless. Flawless victory. The units lost tab here is going to be something to behold, but that is your good game. Mong takes the win in 28-53, just behind a dominating number of tanks. What are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 tanks here. Wait, 17 tanks in the top left. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, with 4 more in production for 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. 41 tanks on the ground. 41. It's a lot of tank. It's a lot of damage output. A lot of splash damage output. And it's drops. You have to get on top of the tanks with Lings and Hydras and Ultras. You kill them faster that way. Dark Swarm doesn't negate the splash damage enough to allow for frontal assaults to work. It doesn't work. And to be fair, in this game, where Hero was so behind the whole time anyway, I'm not sure the drops would have made the difference. But in an even game, where you reach the 15-minute mark and the tanks start showing up and rolling up, if you have drops and you start doing the drops, you can win engagements and kind of snowball from there. We've seen it done. It's hard to do. It's not impossible. But today was not even tried, and Hero is out. So let's check out that final score, shall we? Should be interesting. 239,000 points for Mong, 217 for Hero. Here we go. 644 Zerg units killed, 226 Terran units killed. That is a 3-to-1 ratio. That is every Terran unit that was produced killed 3 Zerg units. That, over the course of a 28-minute game, is how you win. Also this. You mine more gas and more minerals and actually spend less, interestingly enough. But, I mean, this cost efficiency can overcome that, for sure. Woo! That was rough. I'm sorry, Zerg fans, you had to see that. Terran fans, be pleased. You may be pleased as punch. But, yeah. All right, well, that is going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.